everyone, and welcome to the 3rd annual Mammoth Club Art Show. Today, we will see pieces of art you submitted fitting our theme of a fantastic journey, mammoths from beyond our world. As you can see, people are already filling into the gallery to see your pieces, so I will throw it over to our host and famed art curator, Maximilien Ledoux. Hello, and welcome everyone to the 3rd annual Mammoth Club Art Show. I, of course, am your famed curator, Maximilien Ledoux, and yet again, I don't know how they got me here. I don't need the money. Anyway, tonight, of course, we are celebrating the theme of a fantastic journey, mammoths beyond our world. They just keep finding ways to put mammoths in a bunch of weird places they don't go. But I'm simply here to host, not to criticize the theme, right? All right, yes. Our next category is featuring characters and worlds of the Disney and Universal branding. I hope you all have brought your favorite beverage with you to enjoy together. Cheers for this art show. Nothing like some sparkling grape to really get those art criticisms going. First up, this one is called Imagination. I do recognize these characters. We have a mammoth here, as well as a dragon, I think, by the name of Figment. However, I must point out, while I immediately recognize them, being able to get visual clarity on a character is important, and so I might remind you that dragon does have wings, and But I do enjoy the rainbow. It's like I'm going through the rainbow tunnel in Epcot. I do have one very important criticism, though. Frankly, as somebody that has submitted for 3 years in a row, I'm disappointed. How could you bring on this character, Figment, referencing Imagination, without featuring the Eric Idle Moon? How could you do this? Where is the Eric Idle Moon? This would have made it perfect. Next up, we have A Summer's Day on the Fantasy. First, we have, this is the Disney's fantasy ship, certainly a play on requirements of the fantasy. We have Alan and Molly standing on a pier looking out upon it. Dragging along this ship, we have a mammoth. But what I really want to zoom in on here is this top left corner, where we have a very small home with a single window. Inside it, a person labeled Max at Home, parentheses, not Canada. And I just want to call out, he looks unhappy. It is my understanding that often when Alan and Molly go on these cruises that Max does not go. I understand that, but this is fantasy. You could have had him there. You chose to have him unhappy at home? He's not even visiting Canada. You've got a mammoth tubing. Indy Mama Jones. And this is where I get to first point out to you the pieces of art that have been nominated for Best in Show. And you'll be able to tell them by this gold medal right here. I love the character you've brought to it, the stylized version of the mammoth that fits the running through the cave, the large boulder chasing behind, even the font size that gets smaller as it goes, giving a perspective of he's running away. It is truly an awesome piece of art, and you have indeed been nominated, our first nominee, Bex OD. Next up, Mammoth in Cars Universe, parentheses, made while watching Cars Marathon, did you know Cars 3 is great, because it's really great. Ka-chow. I don't even know that I know what to say. From the incredibly realistic car version of a mammoth, wheels that apparently see through each other, but I'm sure are incredibly secure, to Dame Judi Dench. My friend, of course I know Dame Judi Dench, or as I like to call her, Old Deuteronomy. This piece encapsulates so much, and all I know to say, Scar, is ka-chow. Next up, we have an adult piece of art. Yes, one that stuck out immediately to me. This one is Natty, the Magical Full-Time Mammoth. If I had one more Best in Show medal to give, I wouldn't give it to this. And what is that? Let's look at the title. Anyway, that's a mammoth, I believe, going to Hogwarts. Next, we have Mammoth discovers Star Wars. Look at young Grogu. And I'm most worried about those X-Wings perhaps colliding, but it seems I can't help but be distracted by the cuteness. I love how possibly a firefight outside there playing with a ball. Oh, they are playing with a ball. Yes, I got distracted by that being a planet. Sometimes I do need a more casual audience to help me understand these pieces. I do appreciate your amateur look. Next, we have Paranda in Hogsmeade. Now, this is a celebration, I am to come to understand. And here we have a mammoth that is celebrating with an absolute nightmare in the foreground. What is that thing? I think it's called Dobby. I don't know what that is or why it looks like that. Also, the plastic chairs. The plastic chairs. I mean, how many of us, I don't anymore, I'm rich, but how many of us have not sat many hours in those plastic chairs? Mammoth spreading, goodness. Yes, I guess he is mammoth spreading, isn't he? Next up, we have Mam Fam Goes to Wonderland. Here indeed, at the tea party, we have the March Hare, we have the Mad Hatter, the Dormouse, and a mammoth, all in this Alice in Wonderland style of illustration and coloring. The beautiful lanterns hung above it, the stacked teacups. Recognize it immediately, both in illustration and in style, and that is why Kongstein is our second nominee for Best in Show. Love the Cheshire Cat detail. Yes, hiding up there in the sky, isn't he? Just a big wide grin. Probably a bit envious, wants to be invited, or maybe just a bit of a troublemaker. Next up, we have Ramamzel's Tower. And here we do have Rapunzel's Tower, of course, dutifully recreated. But instead of a blonde girl voiced by one Mandy Moore at the top, we've got a mammoth. And look at that hair. Once they get out, they do have some signs that point them in the direction I think we know exactly where they want to go. Because we do have, at the bottom, there are some call-outs like, there's a duck pond. But the only one that I think matters, LaGuardia. LaGuardia. The home of where you can mash your grippers with someone else's grippers. And what kind of experience would you like to have after being cooped up in a tower your whole life than to meet somebody and hold grippers with them? Next, we have Return of the Mammoth. And here, a mammoth wields a lightsaber by the truly, the dexterity to hold a lightsaber with the end of a trunk. I'm impressed. That brings us to the end, and it is time for us to move on to a more fantastical world. One beyond the themed parks that you know, one beyond the IP that perhaps dominates these themed lands. And I just think that I will need to relocate if I'm going to take on such a fantastic piece. How will I get there? I know I shall take my steed. I'm going to have to go now. All right, I must call my steed. Shadow Max, one of the finest steeds an art curator can acquire. We're back! Yes, now it is time to explore the world of fantasy. New areas beyond our own world. All right, first up, we have A Very Wonderful Adventure. Now, this has got a mammoth looking over looks like a mountaintop to see many different bears. Pooh Bear, Boysen Bear, we have a whole bear, we have a panda bear, we have Panda May, which is not a bear at all, but I will only say there's something missing. Where is your picnic basket? You have not brought the picnic basket with the bear picnic or the shaman. If you are looking to give these bears a hug, how do you think you're going to do it? I will just call out that I like the width of your feet. The Mammoth is very solid. He's on solid ground. Yes, we have enchanted forest. Oh, just seeing the colors on this one gets me all. We've got a mammoth sitting in a bit of a camp chair, it looks like. He's got a bit of tea, and this mammoth does not at all look like Sasquatch. It doesn't look human-like at all. It does? Oh, it does. My mistake. I really like the castle. Goldie, ma'am, and the 3 bears. It is a bit of a half and half comic style. In the top pane, a mammoth of blonde tuft hair trying out a few different beds. One, they say, too hard. One, they say, too soft. And the other one is just right. And then in the bottom, we've got 3 bears. Again, without Charmin. Where's the Charmin? One has said, someone's been sleeping in my bed. And the middle one says, someone's been sleeping in my bed. And the third one says, someone's been sleeping in my bed. And they're still here! It is my understanding that these bears at the bottom are meant to represent 3 members of this club. And I can tell that because one is wearing a tank top, frankly. You've also made one blonde that does seem similar to one Molly. But I just wanted to make a quick note here. Just, again, I am not really personally invested. Similar to, we left Max at home. He could have gone on the ship, but instead he's at home sad through the window. I'm not personally invested here, but I just need to call out. I can't help but notice that this third bear is quite a bit shorter than the other bears, like a lot. And let me just say, not the shortest one of the 3. Max is the second tallest, in fact. He's inches taller than Molly, and it's just strange. It's just strange. A lot of people, when they see him, they say, "Oh, you're taller than I expected." Everybody thinks he's short. He's not short. Okay? I mean, he's a little bit above average. I just want to share. He's not. He would be in the middle. He would be the middle bear. We're moving on. Next, we have Keeper of the Lost Mammoths. Let's all take a second, just before I say this. Let's all just take a second and take in a beautiful piece of art. Because in a second, I'm not going to talk about it at all. Let's just look at the colors, the mammoth appearing to fly. I believe this is a reference to a book series. You might be asking yourself, why is it presented at such strange angles? And I would say to you, it's because perhaps young Jormays was so excited to submit their art that they couldn't put it on a flat surface and take a photo. They had to take a picture of it in their lap, reclining on their chair, blanket over them, at an angle. And so as to not include their lovely blanket and reclined position into this frame, it had to be cropped in a very strange angle. Just take a second to make sure that it is, really properly, so that, we don't have to crop your, what looked like a very cozy blanket. Next we have Mamford, the big red mammoth. I think it was at this point in curating that I asked myself if my eyes are not working. Because I did check it in a Photoshop, and it does appear to be shades of red, but somehow it looks brown. No, that's definitely red. I mean, I don't say those words. I'm too rich and classy. Next we have Mammoth of the Sea. I suppose that must be the name of the ship, perhaps, as it is manned by a bear offering free hugs. I am a little concerned that perhaps this free hugs shirt is a facade, because that is a pirate mammoth on that sail. Perhaps this is a ruse, an elaborate ruse, to get you to approach for a free bear hug. And what they instead get is the booty. Next we have Mammoth, Onward and Forward. Here we have a mammoth riding on the back of a turtle. I cannot be sure whether it's a giant turtle or a tiny mammoth. But either way, I'm delighted. Here's an important question. If you had to, would you rather be confronted by one mammoth-sized turtle or by 100 turtle-sized mammoths? Something to think about. Next up, we have our brave travelers search for the beast. And I do believe you can see the travelers up in the top right corner. There they are. And then there's a mammoth down in the foreground. One is pretty short. What are you trying to say? I mean, I understand that the mammoth is amongst the trees, and so compared to a tree, it looks quite short. I agree. But I assure you that in real life, they would be quite, I'm sure, tall. Yes. Everything looks tall from Max's perspective. Again, I'm not personally involved in this, but I will just say that defamation is a crime and one to be considered. Anyway, I hope that these three brave travelers, all I'm sure of above average height and quite equipped to find what they are looking for, find this similarly above average height mammoth that is simply next to tall trees. Good day. And here we have Sharkland and is our next nominee for Best in Show. Here we have another comic book style art here, as it looks like we have three compatriots, one with mouse ears on their helmet. I like that detail. Diving underwater alongside a teal mammoth, many sharks surrounding them of all different kinds of hammerhead sharks, great white sharks, as a rock looks like the face of one Bruce the shark erupts from the surface. Very cool indeed. Next we have the mischievous Mammoth of Oz. They are off to see the wizard, the wonderful Wizard of Oz. You know, I have a bit of a dance background. Before I was famed art curator, I used to know we're off to see the wizard. You know that I did a bit of a jig in high school when I was at my very expensive private high school. Anyway, we have the mischievous Mammoth of Oz. It does appear he has a hat not unlike mine here. Do we get an intermission segment where you sing a little song from your theater days? I am mostly a visual art curator around here, but I will, every once in a while, find myself in the theater. The only show I really want to go see is one featuring Mungo Jerry and Rumble Teaser. You know, that one is, that's the best show. It's all gone downhill from there. After you've seen that one, what is that to see? This one is called Wyvern or Mammoth. And it, again, has a bit of dialogue here. That mammoth is missing 2 legs. The creature in the middle does not respond. And the mammoth on the right says, 2 legs is a wyvern, 4 is a dragon. Sorry, I do have to, when I was sent this, it was given to me with the requirement that there be a piece of audio played alongside it.
Hi, chat. This is Kate, aka Sparkle Gem, and my extremely ambitious resolution for 2025 is to learn how to draw a 4-legged mammoth.
Well, Sparkle Gem, I hope you figure it out. This feels like regression to me, but sometimes we have to take a step back before we can take 2 steps forward. Keep it up. And that brings us to the end of our fantasy category. For the next one, we must go to a place that feels as fantastic as this Rivendell, as strange and hard to believe as Wonderland. We must travel again to a new location that is truly fantastic indeed.
We stand on guard for thee.
back now in Canada, a one of fantasy. Hard to believe it is so beautiful, featuring maple syrup and beavers and money that maybe smells like one or at least two of those things. Oh, my butt. Oh, goodness. I missed a button. Can't be out of a uniform as I am a Canadian Mountie. That's right. Ha! This next group of art will feature just a few pieces that did celebrate the country of Canada. First, we have Once Upon a Mammoth. While this piece does celebrate many different pieces, really the only part of it that felt like I truly knew where to put it when curating it was that there is in fact a Canadian flag. It does feature many different references, whether it be ducks or fish, hoverboards or volcanoes, squids, bracelets and segways, and in fact a Santa with a ladder. Next up we have Winter is Coming to Fantasyland. Finally, after a year where we only saw Niagara Falls and CN Tower, you have truly shared with us all of the places to visit in Canada. Arendelle. Yes. Superman's Fortress of Solitude. Canadian. Hoth. You thought it was a different planet they went to? No. They went to Canada. Hogsmeade. Every time they take a little journey from Hogwarts, not a Hogswart. Every time they take a little journey from Hogwarts to Hogsmeade, they actually go from the United Kingdom to Canada. And finally, Pokemon World, featuring one Glaceon. Next up, we have Vacation in Fantasyland, where this mammoth, it appears, has taken a bit of a trip and has gotten some Tim Hortons. Question marks over their head. And I like a piece of art that asks some questions. Is it thinking to itself, is it possible that this place exists? And now, if they've returned from their vacation just in time to catch this art show, they're asking themselves, how did I miss out on Arendelle? How did no one tell me that Pokemon World was up there? I went to Niagara Falls. I went to the CN Tower. And finally, we have by One Breezy. So here at the top, we do have it labeled. It says Magic Maverick Mighty Muffin Man Max. What a name. Successfully charges into the Dragon Crib on the back of his trusty mammoth mount Misty in defense of his beloved Canada. And truly, we do have Breezy, I'm going to level with you. The first time I looked at it, I thought, I don't know, I can't explain this, but I thought it was a bit ant-like. I do love this dragon's heels. And what fabulous red lipstick it has on. Is this dragon truly threatening Canada and therefore needing to be charged? Or is it just going out for the night? Are we just ruining a dragon's evening here? The last thought I have here is that this extension that's sort of thrusting forward, it's got like a yellow bit. I think it's a lance, but again, at first glance, it sort of looked like an extended leg with hose on it. And I thought, wow, what a long leg that is. Really going for like a real long kick with quite a pointed toe. Is that a surfboard? But I just like that we've got that, you know, that S that everybody knows. It is on there. If this is what protecting Canada means, perhaps I am not cut out to be a Mountie. Perhaps we need to go beyond this world. That's too hard, but maybe. Hello! And now for our next category, we're in front of the Space Shuttle Discovery. Space travel truly is a modern miracle of our exploration of the vast nothingness and probably aliens of space. But I thought to myself, why just stand in front of the space shuttle when I could buy it? Yes, I am very rich. So let's suit up. We're going to go for a ride. Helmets on, we're inside. It is a bit dirty in here, but I'll get my men to clean it up. I think we are about ready to take off.
12, 11, 10, 9, ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running. Liftoff. We have a liftoff. 32 minutes past
back. Yes, now from the expanses of space. Oh, my suit came undone a little bit. Welcome to Sparse, as I've heard you like to call it. We have arrived at the surface of the moon, and here we will present to you pieces of art that are all existing within the vastness of space. Yes, indeed. An overdue invitation. There appears to be a mammoth on the planet's surface, as well as, I believe that this is a vampire. They finally invited us, and then they're holding a note to vampire. Wanna visit? ? Yes, no, or maybe. Heart, mammoth. I do like, again, safety is critical. You can see I've got my helmet on to be in the vacuum of space, and the vampire does as well. And so do vampire bats. Actually, I shouldn't judge. They could just be regular bats. Space bats. Next up, we have intergalactic resource extraction. Here we have a mammoth, a tube that is going to a questionable hole in his suit, and then flying alongside a mammoth allocation machine. And in the corner, apparently being pursued by TIE fighters. It seems that this mammoth has perhaps angered the Galactic Empire. Next up, we have Magic Mammoth Flies Sugar to the Moon. And here we have a mammoth with a bit of a tuft of hair as it flies up to the moon. And it looks like measuring cups of sugar. And it appears to say it only took 8 million cups. And they appear to be floating now. I do believe that this is sort of the problem of this idea, is that if once you get up to the atmosphere, where are they going? They're just going to float about. And this mammoth is not have a helmet. I'm quite worried. On to mammoth meetup in outer space. Look at them. Little otters all in, by the way, helmets. That's right. I will just say that space is known for its vast darkness. And I agree, again, will celebrate your work smart and not hard or approach. But I think to really finish this piece off, if we could see the vast darkness of space, that we would probably be able to see your shooting stars a little bit easier. You can see space behind me, actually. This is real footage from the moon. Next, we have Mammoth Core. Again, nominated for Best in Show. I love the bright colors. This mam is receiving mail from the mam fam, it looks like. The dark space that allows the constellations to come through. The bright, different colors of the mushroom feel very otherworldly. Can you turn the black light on? It does look like a bit of a blacklight painting, doesn't it? From those days where we might have dabbled a little bit, you know. Next up, we have MC Invades Sparse. I love all the work that you went into coloring it all in. I am a little concerned that it appears that the mammoth, maybe their feet are not connected to their body. Or its trails, I'm not sure. The alien got him, oh dear. I also like the flag that we've planted, staking claim of I have invaded and I have taken over. It's a hostile action, truly. When we say invade, it's not visiting, invading. And so we should just be careful. Again, not unlike the pirate mammoths from before. It seems like the mammoths are maybe up to something. Next, we have We Must Flee. Here we have a mammoth fleeing. It appears that the continent of Africa is on fire. The continent of Africa appears to have grown in size tremendously. It is currently overtop America, Europe, and Asia, and is being greeted by other mammoths that might be a bit frozen, but they're at least welcoming. They at least, before they got frozen in ice, they put up a flag and it says, "Hello, welcome. You may get frozen too, but at least you'll feel greeted when you do." And that's lovely. Oh, next we have a bit of a mixed media piece. This one is called Weightless Woolly, a combination of all different scraps put together and a photo taken of it. Very unique. And here we have a mammoth wearing a bit of a Trojan hat, and Pity Bandit has made it clear with the title that it's a weightless mammoth. There's balloons strapped to its back, so many that it is floated away from the earth, where on the outside it has seen a Lego man and a dog and a rocket, but it is around stars and other copies of Earth. Outside of Earth, there's just more Earths. I don't know if you all knew that, but as I'm in space right now. I can right over there. There's another one. There's just a different Earth over there. I can see it with my eyes here on the moon. Now, I do like that this mammoth has a helmet on. Bit of a different helmet that I would wear, but at least it has a helmet. And I believe finally this is You've Been Armageddoned. Perhaps this is one of the members of the Armageddon crew heading for that asteroid to go drill a hole in it and explode it so it does not threaten our Earth. He matches your suit. He so does. He and I are both astronauts. Very official. You can tell because it says it right here on my suit. It also says superhero. And I like to think I'm one of those too. And that brings us to the end of our space category. And actually, I believe that means it's time, everyone. There we go, and we are back and ready now for our Best in Show. And now let me pull up the final Best in Show winners. Okay, I don't know what just happened, and everything went away. Where am I? Sorry, chat. I don't know where the slides went. They just died. Let me see if I can get them back, and then we'll get back to the show ASAP. Talk amongst yourselves. I'll give you a subject. Is art an expression of our creativity and therefore proof of humanity, or just the name of a person?
Hello? My name's Brian, and, I was just looking for they asked me to come cut the cake. I was just gonna cut the cake. What are we doing here? Hold on, I guess I'll just, whoa! Wow, look at that! Wait, that's really cool art. It looks like it's called a Court of Fey and Lava. It's got like a bat mammoth, it looks like, and then exploding out of a volcano. That's cool. I don't like it to be too scary myself, but that's pretty cool. I like that. What else is in here? Another dimension. Just Brian here. I'm Brian. Oh, it's Brian with a Y. Thanks for asking. That's really nice. This is cool too. Wow. We've got like a Twilight Zone thing going on here. Tan M plus tan A plus tan M. Fun equals that over whimsy and chaos. I don't know much about math, but I like it a lot. Math is cool. All right. What else is in here? Well, that's a nightmare. What is that? It says beautiful. This is the fur of a killer. Duh. It's called I Know What You Are, a Mammoth by Leanne PC. That makes me uncomfortable. I don't know about that. I don't really like getting scared that much. What's wrong with you? Who hurt you? This is the saddest thing I've ever seen. It's really traumatizing. What else is in here? Oh, I know this. I know this too. Jankie. Jankie, you love me. This is my jam. I'm Brian Jankie fan. You can call me that whenever you want. I'm the biggest fan of Jankie over here. I really like this. I'm a big fan of Big Brother too. Return to Mammoth. Oh, is this like Halloween Town, but mammoths? That's pretty cool. They had a big jack-o'-lantern in the middle of the town. That girl, Kimberly J. Brown, she was in those movies until she wasn't. That girl didn't look anything like her at all. It was weird. This is pretty spooky, but in a family-friendly way. And we like that. The Last of Mammoths. It's got this cool symbol next to it. What do you think that means? Probably means pretty good, I think. This is, I think, from that Last of Us show. It was too spooky for me. I couldn't watch it. I mean, the detail is really amazing. We got a mammoth hiding from what looks like a big zombie up there. Pretty crazy. Is that it? Is that all we've got in here? What was that? What the hell was that? Hagrid's Magical Max Cavity Mammoth Club Adventure TM. This is a horror show, but also maybe the most important work of art of our generation. Similar to Cats the Movie 2019, perhaps we should respect its contribution to art. And if you like it, like the cats like it, then you're with me. And if not, well then maybe I'll just have to do what I was gonna do to that cake. To you.
All right, now it is time for Best in Show. I happened to notice someone, a very kind lad, looked like he was going to a masquerade ball to cut a cake, he said. Did you all see him? Anyway, I didn't catch his name, but seemed like a very friendly gentleman. You saw nothing. Oh, well, all right, never mind then. It is time, finally, for our Best in Show voting. First, we have Indy Mama Jones. Second up, we have The Lass of Mammoth. I don't think I saw this piece. That's weird. We have Mammoth Core by Stassafras. Next up, we have Sharkland. And I believe, finally, we have Mam Fam Goes to Wonderland. And that is all of them. Let your voice be heard. The winner of Best in Show for our third annual Mammoth Club Art Show is indeed Mam Fam Goes to Wonderland. Mam Fam Goes to Wonderland, congratulations on your Best in Show win. To anyone that contributed, thank you so much for taking the time and energy to submit a piece of art. I know it is hard to put yourself out there, and I appreciate the work that you put in so that I could curate it and put it in my gallery.